our next generation, for the cause that he runs for. Everybody knows him and really idolizes him. Sai, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Sai, you are on this mission which is inspiring so many people. You have such a big fan following. Tell us about that. How did you first think about it? And what's your ultimate goal with that?
So, I'm not in this with any kind of savior complex. I'm in this for a very selfish reason. The culture that I've grown up with and I've benefited from, the idea is to protect it in the best possible way by presenting the best version of it to the rest of the world through my personal experience. And fortunately, I think of the last decade or so, the explosion of social media platforms has democratized conversations across the globe, which has made it possible for voices like mine to reach the rest of the world. So I think I take advantage of it heavily. So in my role as a professional litigator who also takes an active interest in issues of public importance, I've tried to marry both worlds as much as possible by bringing my professional skills to bear on issues that I dearly relate and which are close to my heart, including, let's say, the Bharat story, so to speak. So that has been the reason for my transition from a career in engineering to law, in the hope that it gives me a platform to be able to engage with a wider set of audience. That's the journey.
Fascinating. Very briefly, in the interest of time, two questions. One, what brings you to Thai and Thai Silicon Valley's flagship event like TiEcon? And second, what message you would give to the next generation of entrepreneurs, leaders, people who really want to connect with you and follow your leadership?
So I heard of TiEcon just a few months ago from a set of professional colleagues in the legal fraternity back home, and who insisted that if ever I were to get an invitation to visit Thai, I must make it a point to be there. So when I got it from the epicenter of startups and the startup capital of the world, I couldn't say no. And Asha Jadeja Mutwani was kind enough to include me in her panel on Rising India. So I was looking forward to this opportunity to see how can we marry the India story with the success of the Indian diaspora in the Silicon Valley. Perhaps the only suggestion, if not message, that I have to offer is that as we go along, the globe is bound to meet with a lot of common challenges across countries and across jurisdictions. So, in addition to looking at benefiting ourselves from the growth of the India story, how can the India story have a positive effect on global challenges? That, I think, will define India's contribution to the world. Because when you grow and you grow alone, it is just another story. But when you take everybody else along, and most importantly, you are also bringing the best of minds together to address global challenges such as climate change, I think you leave a lasting legacy. So my interest is in addressing challenges back home which are domestic, and also addressing issues which plague or afflict the rest of the world. And I say so because India has the technical ability, it has the will, it has the cultural bent of mind to address the world's problems, because it is both inward looking and it also contributes to the rest of the world outside. So the hope is that we are all part of this journey and bring the best of our abilities to bear on the subject. And hopefully the next 50 years is the beginning of the India story, not the end of the India story.
Fascinating words to end our discussion. You know, a lot of people talk about authentic leadership right here. Sai, such a pleasure. Thank you again for joining.
Thank you.
What a
pleasure.
session you had.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.